Today's practice is focused on supporting you to clear a common block in the second chakra, which for many people shows up as I'm not enough. Other people it shows up as I'm too much. And then there are those of us that get both of them. The point of this block is to keep us safe and to keep us in a controlled environment with limited expression and creative power. So as we clear this block today, it's going to give you more space to be yourself and to express yourself in the world. I'm Christelle Arcucci, the founder of the Soul Purpose Network, supporting you in clearing the soul level blocks and core wounds that will help you experience greater freedom, love, and financial success in your life and career. So let's begin with this practice. So to give you a bit of information on where the second chakra is, if you're not familiar, it is below your navel and above your pubic bone. So the lower region of the belly. And although I primarily work with women, this also applies to men, this practice. And I'm going to be teaching this as if the women are the ones watching this, but it applies to everyone. So for women, this is a common place of huge body shame for so many women that when I teach this in person, women often have trouble thinking anything positive about their lower belly because there's been so much cultural program about how women's bodies should look. And so we begin this practice simply by placing your hands on your lower belly. So I'm going to step back a little bit further so you can see me more easily. And I encourage you to do this practice with me. Unfortunately, back here, I won't be able to see the comments and questions that are coming in, but I will respond to them after the video. So as I mentioned, the second chakra is here below the belly button and above your pubic bone. The common blocks that are here are that I'm not enough, or I'm too much, or both. So as you place your hands on your belly, I want you to gently begin to rock back and forth as if you were rocking a baby. So notice if there are immediately thoughts that come up in your mind about your belly, the thoughts and beliefs that we hold about our bodies. So that can be, I'm too fat, it's too squishy, it's whatever. So notice the thoughts in your mind, which those thoughts are more powerfully connected to I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, my body isn't good enough, it isn't shaped the way it's supposed to be. So it's important to be present with those thoughts. So as you're doing this, I didn't mention that my feet are a little bit wider than my hips and my knees are gently bending as I'm rocking side to side. So making sure this feels good in your body. So yes, the intention of this is to rock yourself like you were caring for a baby and to be present with the wounded parts of ourselves, because often these blocks and core wounds appear very early on in our lives. So this is a way of reparenting yourself, of holding that part of ourself that is young, innocent, helpless, which can be challenging to pay attention to because in general as adults, we don't want to feel those things. But as you're watching this, being present with the adult part of you as well as the part of you that has beliefs about not being good enough or being too much. So this second chakra is the creative center, and it also relates to our sexuality. For women, this contains our womb, our ability to literally create life. This is true whether or not you have had children, whether or not you still have your uterus, this energy center exists. So we're being present with the thoughts that are happening inside our mind and move into the sensation of what it feels like to actually be touching your body. So this is where we move from the mind, what my mind has to say, about my belly, about my creativity, about my sexuality. Most of us have been shamed about our sexuality at one point in our life, or we've had negative experiences around our bodies and sexuality. So being present with what arises for you, and imagine that you were holding a young baby version of yourself and comforting yourself, saying the things to yourself that you would say to a baby or a very small child. This can be helpful in imagining that whatever you're saying is understood and the energy is being transmitted. So the things that I would say to myself, and I encourage you to repeat the ones I'm saying or choose the ones that really resonate most with you. And as I spoke about yesterday, it's important that it feels possible, available, and true for you. So, so as I tune in to what this young part of me wants to know about my creative expression is, I'm allowed to express myself. My creative expression is not only permitted, it's wanted. There are people in the world that want to hear, feel, and experience my creative expression in many forms. I release the part of me that believes that I'm too much or not enough. I recognize this as a protection mechanism. Thank you for protecting me. I honor the protection you have given me. And I now move forward with greater confidence and ease, knowing how to skillfully express myself. And to not take it personally when someone disagrees with me or doesn't like what I have to say. So as you're gently rocking back and forth with your hands on your lower belly, tuning into what this part of you needs and wants to feel. And feeling with your hands what's happening, and notice the difference between the sensations of touching your body and the thoughts in your mind. For women, this can be very difficult to separate out. These are the thoughts. I'm too fat, my belly's too soft. Those are thoughts. The sensations are, I notice the feeling of the fabric. I feel the folds in the fabric. I feel the curve of my belly. I feel tightness inside, especially up a little higher. I feel my breath moving into my second chakra. So that's an essential part of this practice, because the thoughts, my belly's too fat, it's too soft, it's not flat, it's blah, 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 whatever, those are thoughts. And we want to bring ourselves into the sensations of what's happening and to be able to listen to the thoughts and to be in the experience of sensation, because the sensation and feeling safe in feeling is where we're going to expand our capacity to be creatively expressed in our life, to find that way of expanding those two boundaries. For some of us, it's I'm not enough. For others of us, it's I'm too much. For some of us, it's both. For me, those are both very dominant, that I'm too much and I'm not enough. So, and this is of course generalized for me working with whoever is watching this, and thank you for being here. And when I work with clients, we dive deeply into the specifics of how that shows up for a person. And this core wound or a block can show up in many areas of our bodies, right? It can show up in the heart, it can show up in the throat, but it's a common one that is held in the second chakra. So thank you so much for joining me today. Feel free to comment below, share, and like this video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Christelle Arcucci signing off.